Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so I hope everyone who actually does celebrate the holiday had a great Thanksgiving. I know it's a lot harder this year due to the restrictions because of COVID, but regardless if you're actually able to spend time with your family or if you had to spend time alone at home, I still hope you enjoyed the holiday in some way. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different when it comes to going over the leaks than it usually is because of the fact that this is actually my second time recording a video. So I've already seen all the leaks. I wasn't happy with the way it recorded and went down for the first one. So because I've already seen them and basically can't go over them live with you guys like I usually do, I'm going to try this format out instead where I basically just, I'm going to read the summary for the chapter and then I'm going to not really go through the images, but basically just give my impressions on the 10 images that we got for this week and my thoughts on them and what we actually get to see from them. So let me know in the comment section down below if you like this format better and I'll continue doing it from now on, or if you like the old format better. Okay, so getting into the actual summary for this week's chapter, the chapter is going to be 15 pages, which is good because we already had 10 of those pages leaked, which means there are still 5 pages left to actually go over that we haven't seen just yet, which personally I am happy about because I don't like it when the entire chapter is leaked out prior to the fan translation coming out, because I like to be able to read the chapter along with seeing the images. So personally, I would actually prefer if only about 4 to 5 pages get leaked, but I can't control how many pages end up getting leaked out. Zeno arrives to see Dante. Dante wants a rematch with that little boy, assuming Asta. Morris, shadow leader of the Diamond Kingdom, is seen treating Dante. Again, we will talk about that when we actually get to the images for this chapter. Diamond and Spade Kingdom seem to be in an alliance. A giant devil is revealed, seems to be sealed up for now. Yami and William are in coffins as a tree starts to grow around them. Back to Asta's training, Asta is seen releasing a lot of anti-magic everywhere, with a tease to his brand new form. I cannot wait to talk about that later on when we get to the actual images. Noct and Asta are having a serious talk. Noct basically tells Asta that he went through a lot of suffering, but in the end he was right. He also stated that right people don't get rewarded, but I don't really understand what this means. I'm sure when we actually get the official translation on Sunday, we'll understand what this means, but as of right now, this makes no sense. Noct, I want the right people to live. The vast majority have the truth. It's not always the case that a good person is rewarded. Even though I fought hard back then, I lost. I still have no idea what the fuck this means. Cannot wait to actually get to see it in context in the actual chapter. Seems Asta is staying behind to fully control his new form. Noct leaves Gimodero behind to train with Asta. Alright, so it's cool to find out that Gimodero is actually going to be training with Asta continuing on. I'm sure Asta's not happy about the fact that he's being left behind, but he has to understand that, well, he can't help if he doesn't know how to control his Devil Union. Noct, we will do as much as we can until you come. Spade Kingdom Invasion Uniform is revealed, which I was so excited to see. We actually do get to see that as the last page for the spoilers for this week, so we'll get to that in a moment. Invasion Team, alright, this is a part of the chapter, or the part of the summary, that had me dying for 5 minutes, so, and you'll see if you're reading along. Invasion Team so far consists of Real, Charlotte, Seke, for some fucking reason, the bot is bringing him along, and Jack, Nozel, Fugoyan, Langris, and Yuno. And then the last 2 bullet points are basically just talking about the fact that this is actually the first chapter of volume 28, which I am excited about. The fact that we have reached 28 volumes with Black Clover. I hope the series continue on to chapter 20, or volume 29, 30, 40, 50, up to 100 volumes. I don't care. As long as the series keeps coming out, I'm still going to be talking about it and still enjoying it. And then the final point basically just says that the chapter's name is called Faithful Day. Although I don't know if faithful is actually spelled right here. I have to double check on that. Okay, so that was a summary for this week's chapter. Now getting into the actual images. Again, I've already seen them, so I can't basically give you guys my live reaction since I've already recorded that, and I just didn't like it. But I am going to basically give you guys a brief kind of like rundown of what I thought about each image, and I'll put it in the description box down below, a link for the chat or for the website where I saw the leaks on, so you guys can basically just go along with me and actually give your impressions of the chapter and you watch this video. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I'm going to skip past the first page because that's kind of boring. It's literally just Zeno walking through the Spade Kingdom Castle to go see Dante. Nothing really to talk about there. Now, the second page, though, that was actually really interesting because we actually get to see this Morris character for the first time there. And at first, I thought he was actually just a Spade Kingdom like scientist who was healing Dante. And then I saw Lotus from the Diamond Kingdom standing next to him. And that's when I clicked in my head, wait, this guy right here, because I saw the images before I read the summary. This guy had to be from the Diamond Kingdom if he's standing next to Lotus. Why else would Lotus be there? And then that's when I realized that this guy is most likely, and it actually confirmed it by reading the spoiler summary and actually looking in the wiki, this Morris guy is the same person who was experimenting on Mars and Fauna back when they were kids. This is the same asshole who did all the shit, who caused all their trauma. And you know what, given what we know about him, how evil he is, I mean, the fact the guy was experimenting on kids, it makes perfect sense that if, you know, Diamond Kingdom's being invaded, their Space Kingdom's taking it over, he would more than likely jump ship and just work with them. As long as he can continue doing his evil experiments, he does not give a shit. I know he doesn't give a shit of where he's doing it. So, again, it makes perfect sense that he is working with the Space Kingdom right now. Now, Lotus, on the other hand, Lotus has always been, in my opinion, a kind of like, he's been kind of a respectable guy. I mean, sure, he's been working for the bad guys over in Diamond Kingdom, but he's always been, since his introduction, in my opinion, kind of respectable. So I'm a little bit disappointed seeing him over here in Space Kingdom right now, but considering the fact that he's also a survivor and will work with whoever he has to in order to survive and protect his family, since the Diamond Kingdom was already invaded and being taken over by the Space Kingdom, it makes perfect sense in order to basically save himself. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he has a daughter. In order to save them, he would just jump ship and join up with their side. There's not really much to talk about when it comes to the third page. The only thing I can really think of is the fact that we get to see that the slash that Asa gave him at the end of their fight is still there. So it seems like Dante can't heal that because of the anti-magic. I don't know. Maybe we just haven't seen it healed yet. He is still in that healing chamber. So maybe he actually can heal it eventually. But assumingly right now, because of the fact that it's still there and it's been a few days, maybe we can pretty much assume that because of the anti-magic, he can't heal it. Now, the fourth page is probably the most important page that was leaked in this chapter, because on this page, we actually get to see the devil that they mentioned in the summary, and they were not joking. This devil is fucking huge, like, it is gigantic. Now, what's really caught my eye from this page was the fact that, as they mentioned in the summary, the devil was obviously sealed up in something, and the thing he's sealed in looks very much like the crystal that we saw Dante standing in front of prior to him going to attack the Black Wolves. So I'm wondering, if we go back to that chapter where you get to see Dante standing in front of that crystal, are we going to see like hints towards the devil, or can we see like the outline of the devil, or like some like body part of it in that chapter? I don't think so. I'll go back and look, but I don't think that we actually can. Now, what's really interesting about this devil is the fact that we've been kind of building Lucifero up as the big villain. Like, we all assumed that Lucifero getting out was the main threat of this arc. But what if it actually ends up being this devil? Like, what if this devil actually ends up being the main threat from the arc instead of Lucifero? That would actually be really interesting. It actually would make sense because Asta's already defeated Lucifero technically by defeating Dante. So, you know, maybe instead of having Asta go up against Lucifero again, maybe we can actually see Asta defeat or fight off against this devil once he shows up with his true union form. Well, speaking of, we don't actually get to see even really a tease of it. I don't know why he said tease in summary, because when you look at the image where you get to see Asta back when we check in and was training again, he's not even remotely close into his devil uniform. He's still in his dark form, and it's not even really his full dark form because he doesn't have his wing. But we do actually get to see that he's like emitting a lot of anti-magic everywhere. It seems like this is near the end of the training after he's activated his dark or his union form for the first time, and there's really not much else to the image besides the fact that it actually looks boss ass as hell. But we continue on and we get to see like the next few pages basically just not kind of like talking to Asta, telling him, you know, you need to continue training in order to actually truly master this union form. And I guess this is the moment where he actually tells Asta, you know, to stay behind, train up. I'm going to leave Guimodelo here, and then, you know, catch up with us once you can. And then on the final page of the leaks, which is actually the final page of the chapter, we get a double page spread of all the characters that were mentioned in the summary in their new Space Kingdom invasion uniforms, which again remind me heavily, not the uniforms themselves, but the like idea of them having uniforms again reminds me heavily of the whole Royal Knights thing, because like back then they also got new uniforms to go along with the title of being Royal Knights. I wonder if they're going to get a title in this chapter for what they're going to be called instead of just like the Space Kingdom invasion group. I wonder if they're actually going to get like a Royal Knights title, or if they're going to be called something else. Looking at the uniforms, first off, they are cool as hell. And if I had to pick my favorite one out of all of them, it'd probably be Dorothy, because of the fact that she gets like a little, instead of her witch hat, she gets like a little top hat with flowers around it. But yeah, looking at the uniforms, it's hard to tell because of the fact that the image is like, it's a low quality scan. And obviously the chapter's going to be black and white. But if I had to guess in color, the uniforms will probably end up being purple. That's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the shade of black that they're using when translated to color will look purple. But I don't know. I'm excited to see, as an artist, what these uniforms are going to end up looking like. Now, what's probably the most interesting part of this page, besides the uniforms, is seeing Seke's face and the fact that he is going on this mission with them, because he knows full well that he has no reason to be on this mission. There is no reason for him to be here. And obviously the only reason why he's here is because the king himself, or the king of the Clover Kingdom himself, because of the fact that he holds Seki in such high regard for saving his life in the last arc, he probably hand selected Seki to be like his one representative on the team. And you know what? This actually makes sense. Well, we had like a whole 10-minute section of the last episode dedicated to Seki and him being promoted as a Magic Knight. So I guess that was kind of like foreshadowing the fact that he was going to be part of this new group. I'm wondering if we're actually going to get to see him do anything in this arc. I actually hope so, because despite the fact that Seki's been pretty much a joke character since his introduction, I do see some potential in his magic and his abilities, and I would actually really like to see his character, even if he stays a joke character. I'd like to see him actually evolve into like being useful in some way. So I'm really actually hoping, even if he doesn't end up getting a serious fight, I at least hope that we actually get to see him do something in this arc. But anyway, guys, that is it for the leaks for this week's chapter. Let me know what you thought about them in the comment section down below, and what you think about this new format that I'm doing for the leak videos. Do you prefer this one, or would you like me to go back to the old one? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I cannot wait to read the chapter tomorrow. And for all you guys out there, before I end the video, for all you guys out there who are going to be camping out for Black Friday, trying to get your PS5s and Xbox Ones, or not Xbox Ones, Xbox Series X's, I still fucking hate that name. But for all you guys who are going to be camping out at GameStop trying to get those tomorrow, I wish you best of luck, and try to stay safe and stay healthy, follow the rules, basically social distance. I'm personally glad I don't have to do any of this because I was able to snack mine on Monday when they had a drop. But for all you guys who didn't get it and who are going to be trying tonight and tomorrow, best of luck. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.